Welcome everybody to Culture Shop Podcast. It's your boy Pat Bayless, and I'm in the building again with my guy Zach from the Journey Podcast. What up, Zach? How you doing?
It's good, man. How you doing?
Same old man. Happy to have you back here. Always for good conversations and love, bro. Um, I'm doing a relationship goals series, and
hmm
I knew you was a perfect guy to be on this. Um, Today we're calling this episode "Rip Up Your List."
hmm
I think both me, you, and thousands of millions of other people have a list of what they want in a partner, a significant other, or what they expect.
Yeah.
Some realistic and some non-realistic. So I think this episode is really to break down what's realistic and what you consider something that's not realistic. Do you have a type when it comes to like a female? Do you have a type? And if so, what is your type?
Like physically
Yeah,
or
physical.
everything?
Let's do everything actually. Let's do physical first, and then go into the mental.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously for majority of people, your type, the way to see that is physical. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the initial attraction, right? Is like I'm attracted to a person that looks this type of way. So yeah, I have a type. I mean, I have a few. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I have a different because I've dated all races. You know what I'm saying? I've dated white, black, Spanish. So it's like there's like maybe a specific look that I look for in each race. So like yeah, I definitely have a type when it comes to that. But I think we put a lot of pressure on fulfilling what we think is our type, and then we miss out on good people that might not be your type, but you didn't even give them a chance because they didn't fit your type. So I think I'm trying to grow out of that and really be more open to exploring new things with partners because I think what when you first start dating, you I feel like you give people more leeway, right? So obviously when you first start dating, and I'm talking high school, bro, like we've learned so much that we don't even think about, but we have learned from those relationships. You don't really have a type because you haven't dated. So you don't even know what you like. You think you know what you like, but until you experience it, you don't. So now your list is a lot shorter of your type, right? But your leeway of what you'll put up with is a lot longer. So when that relationship doesn't work out when you're 16, 17, 18, right? You kind of realize, all right, well, there's certain things about her I didn't like. So now my next one, I know if I see those signs early, I'll know like this isn't it, right? Now, both women, both partners, whoever, this could go for women to men also, like they can have things that they didn't even know that they liked because their previous partner didn't show them that side yet. So you didn't even know that you liked it. You know what I'm saying? Or you didn't know that you didn't like this because they didn't show that side. So I think like having a type is so hard, but I think as we progress in dating, your checklist gets a lot shorter for the things that you know that you're not going to put up with, so you can nip things in the butt early versus when we were 16, 17, 18. You'll fucking be in the talking stage for 3 months, then you'll date them for 6 months, and then you realize like damn, like we'll never fucking work. So I think now as we get older, not to put too much emphasis on your type, but know what didn't work out for you in the past, and then look for those signs in the beginning when you start talking to someone new, because you'll just save yourself a lot of time, energy, and money because like I've been with this type of partner before and it doesn't fucking work.
Yeah, I think I agree. Shoot, I'll try to say I don't have a type, but everybody know me. Know I have a type. Like you said, it's not really as far as like race. It's just like a certain look with like maybe hair or
Mm-hmm.
just like anything. It's just a certain look that you just love, and that's quote unquote your type. Because like you said, I've dated all different type of races. Uh, that didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, but I definitely have a type. But I also feel like what you said was so spot on. That list is so wide because a lot of the times when we're dating young, we're usually dating lustfully.
Oh yeah.
Like a lot of the times it's just lustful dating. Like we're dating because maybe we're attracted to that person, but we know everybody else is attracted to that person, so we're just dating them. Meanwhile, we know we're not good for each other. You see it's toxic, especially young, because you're just doing whatever with whoever, and it's just one of those things that just keeps going in a cycle and a cycle and a cycle. And like you said, that list starts to shorten. But when we're younger, it's like, for us, we want the girl with the fat ass, the big boobs, the perfect face. And you start to learn, they usually don't come with all that. And if they do come with all that, the mental's probably not matching. Something's gonna be off. What are you willing to accept? What are you willing to put up with? But to me, as I've gotten older, I've learned that I'm willing to put up with more physical because I need you to be there mentally. Like when I was younger, I didn't care if you was with me mentally. Like you could be a little crazy, a little, you know what I'm saying? I'm dealing with it because I love how good you look. And I think that's where the type happens. Do I think you need to be physically attracted to the person that you're gonna marry or you're with? Absolutely, 100%. You need to be, but they can be your type, but not. I think there's sometimes that saying that when you marry somebody, they're usually not your type. They're usually not what you envisioned yourself being with, but they make you the happiest.
Right. Yeah. I think men do a really poor job of choosing women. Like, we'll take and choose the beautiful girl, even if her personality, her character, her morals don't truly align with us. And we will, we'll ignore red flags, we'll put up with bullshit just to feed our ego of like, I got a good looking woman by my side. We'll try to fit that status quo and keep up with, like, everyone's like, yo, he got, his girl's bad.
Right.
And I think when you do that, bro, it's such a bad decision. Like, it really is, because we will. It's because I've done it, man. I've really done it where I've 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 went for the girl that did not align with who I actually am and what I look for in a woman because she looks so good, and I ignored red flags, and her morals, her character, her personality. It did not match what I'm looking for, but she looked good. And when you do that, I mean, you're setting yourself up for failure, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, that pretty face and, the attractiveness, it gets old. It'll get old really fast. Like, when you choose attraction over connection, that pretty face gets old, when what's on the inside is fucking ugly.
Think about like if you like you said, you dated or you went after that, right? And think about the trauma it could leave you with. I was at a complex con, and man, when I tell you there was so many pretty women, but there's like, as I'm looking at them, I'm like, damn, she's bad. I really want her, but in the back of my mind, I still have trauma. Like, I'm still thinking about what it was like to date somebody that looked that good before, what it comes with. And I'm not saying that every single girl that's like that is like that. They don't all come with the same baggage, or they don't all come with the same, stuff. But it's something that is legit, like trauma. When you think about just that thought of like, will I go through that again with her? Because she's so damn bad, and I want her. But will I go through, that stuff? And that's where, like, you pull out your quote unquote list, and you're like, are they gonna start checking off the boxes? What is like something that what is something that you've seen or heard people say on like their list that you think is like just complete BS? Like, you're just like, it's not that it's not realistic, but it's not gonna lead you down the right path.
Yeah, I mean, I think, well, that's what men do, right? Like, most of our list is all physical, because when we're initially attracted to a woman, we're just looking at them physically. You see them from across the room, and you're like, she's my type. I'm gonna go approach her, and in the back of our mind, we're like, I don't even really care how this conversation goes, because she looks so good and she fits what I know I physically am attracted to. Because we think, as men, like, we can change the woman.
Sure.
We think that all right, if she spends enough time with me, I can make her fit how I want her to be. And bro, that shit will never work. Like, people are who they are. You're not going to change anybody. You're not going to change that woman. And you think just because she looks so good, you'll put yourself through fucking hell. You know what I'm saying? From the outside perspective, you got this good looking girl. Everyone's like, thinking you're the man. And then when you go home at night and no one's around, you're going through hell because she wasn't who you actually connected with. She wasn't the girl that is actually right for you. So that's why I think men do like a poor job of that. Like, you ask a man, like, what do you look for? And what, bro, it's certain features physically on the face, right? And like, we all have it, and there's nothing wrong with that. But that can't be your deciding factor on who you want to partner up with. Like I'm at the point now. Like, this is probably the longest I've been single in the last 7 years, and it's the most free and just like probably happy I've felt. And I'm in no rush to like jump into something, like because I've done that, bro. I fell for the girl that looks really good, and I'm like, yo, she's probably the baddest girl I've ever had. And 2 months in, I knew the shit was never gonna work, but just deep down, I'm like, yo, I know, like, I can bring it out of her. She showed flashes of being the girl that I know that I want, and I know that I think she could be, but that's my delusion fucking just fucking with me because she just looks so good.
Mm-hmm.
If she didn't look like that and then she acted the way that she acted, I wouldn't even look her way twice. And I think that's what men need to do, bro. Like, you need to, like, yes, you need to be attracted to your woman or the girl that you're trying to pursue, of course. But you also have to be connected and attracted to her personality and the ways she carries herself, her morals, her beliefs, what her future is looking like. Like, you got to think, like, that's going to be the mother of your children.
Yep.
Is that the girl? Is that the woman that you want to raise your daughter or your son? Is that the woman you really want to bring to holiday, parties,
Mm-hmm.
to Christmas, to Thanksgiving? Is that the one you want to spend the rest of your life with? And men, we don't do that. We just look physically. She looks amazing and her personality is okay, but I can change her.
Yeah.
And you can't fucking change her.
You can. You can't. You can't. And I've been absolutely a person that has thought that I could change her. I know, my abilities as a person. I've done it with some, like, say if you've done it with somebody else, you think you could do it with everybody. And like you said, not everybody's gonna fit the same mold. Not everybody's gonna let you almost like lead. Not every female is willing to give that guy the moment to lead. Like, you could lead me and I'll trust you. A lot of that doesn't happen nowadays. A lot of it's a back and forth rate, back and forth, men versus women, sex. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much of that going around. Whether you see it on podcasts, you just see it every day. I think there is a little bit of delusion in lists for both of us though, for men and women. I think, girls want the guy who's 6'5". Not everybody, but girls want the guy who's 6'5", got the six pack, great dad, great this, gonna build a house from bottom up, do all this stuff. And I think, sure, is there men out there that are like that? Absolutely. There's no reason not to strive for those things. But I think it's really a give and take for both parties. It's a give and take. For me, there's certain things I can't accept now. Like, for me having a son, I can't accept a woman that doesn't want either doesn't want kids or is not accepting of my son. Like, that's just a no-no. I don't care if she looks like the baddest girl in the world that you could think of. Like, it's just a no-no. Like, maybe we can mess around a little bit beforehand, but after that, it's not going anywhere. Like, let's just be honest, it's not going anywhere. As you grow older, it just everything gets tighter. Like, everything becomes almost in a way a timetable thing too. Like, let's just think about females in general. You see their list pretty crazy, right? Like, when you talk to women, you hear what they want, and then if you see them as they get older, that list shrinks like a motherfucker. And the reason why is women more than men is dangerous. When you see a 40-year-old guy, he's single. Yeah, you might say, "Unk, that's the fun unk that's single." But if you see a 40-year-old woman that's single, you're asking why. Why is she single? What happened? Especially if she got no kids. That's like a dime a dozen, right? Like, just think about it as a guy. When we hear a fine ass woman that's 41, 42. She got no kids. Why? First thing we're gonna say, what's wrong with her? What's wrong with her? You know what I'm saying? They're in a little bit of a different bracket when it comes to that. If they have 3 kids or 4 kids and we meet them, we're probably gonna be like, ugh, right? We're steering away. Even though they're cool, we're steering away. The It's just one of those things that it is somewhat unfair, but it's just the truth. A guy with multiple baby mothers, in my opinion, isn't looked at as bad as a girl with multiple baby fathers.
Yeah.
I don't know if you agree with
I
that.
do. Yeah, it's different. I mean, I've always stood like strong on that stance, and I get it, bro. It's a double standard, but I believe there is a double standard in that. Like the key in the lock thing is just always it made the most sense to me, you know. Uh, a lock that can be opened by any key is a shitty lock, and a key that can only open, or can open any lock it's a master key, and that's why I just think it's different between men and women, because at the end of the day, like, the woman has to allow you to do that, to be with her,
Mm-hmm.
and you go to a bar and you take a guy and you take a girl and you say, all right, try to get, laid tonight. Try to bring someone home. The guy, I don't know, might have a 5-10% success rate. Maybe. That could be high. The woman, I don't know, 85, 90%, 95% success rate. If she wanted to have sex that night, there is a guy in there that will have sex with her. If the guy wanted to have sex, there is no guarantee that he can bring a woman home. And that's just like, to me, that's the double standard. You know what I'm saying? It's just like we can't access sex and getting with someone like a woman can. So when the woman has, say 3 or 4 baby fathers, or has 20, 30, 40 bodies by sub 30 years old, bro, it's fucking different than when the guy has that. It's totally different. And then also the way that our brains and the way that we're wired when we do that stuff, it is physical. There's not much emotion involved. Sure, for some women, is it physical? Maybe. But for most, there's some emotional attachment involved, and it's premeditated. You ask a woman that's going to be honest, truly honest with you, I think she'll agree with that. Most women will agree with that. Like, and then what you were saying, like what women look for in a guy. I mean, most men, call it what it, like, most men's peak value is 30, 35, 40 years old, right? We had to fucking grind for 20 years to reach our peak value. Women's peak value is 18 to 28, 27. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Call it what it is. Like that is the truth. That is when they're the hottest. They're the most, the most, approachable, whether the men want to approach them, the men want to do stuff for them. That's when it is. And, a lot of them, I'm not saying all, but like a lot of women like didn't have to work for that, right? Like God bless them, like their parents, they have a beautiful human being, and they just got to post pictures on Instagram, and like they'll get on the yachts, they'll get invited to the parties, they'll get flown out, they'll get fucking thousands of fucking horny guys to subscribe to their OnlyFans if they take that route and make millions of dollars a month, when like the guy had to build this whole shit up to fucking get to where he wanted to get at 35, 40 years old. So that's what I'm just saying. Like there is a double standard, like, but that's why we're different. That's why, like, I'm a believer, like, there is genders, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, men are men, women are women, like, we have different roles, and that's good. That's why we complement each other. Right. So it's a tough conversation, and some people listening and some people, like, could be like, and totally take it the wrong way. And if you do, I mean, bro, we both have our opinions. Right. But that's how I feel. And I've spoken to women that I actually like value their opinion. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I truly value their opinion. Like, I'm close with them. This is someone that and a lot of them see it that way as well. You know what I'm saying? And I do feel like I'm a good, like, just judge of character with people that I bring around me in my circle. Like, right. And that doesn't make my opinion completely right. It's an opinion, right. But I don't know.
There's always gonna be pushback. I mean, no matter what the opinion is, it can be agreed with 77% of people. Is always gonna be pushback.
Of course.
So I think I think what you said is pretty much spot on. I think pretty privilege is absolutely something that, it stands out. If you're pretty, you're gonna get a lot of those things, like you said. Is there something now that still from even when you were younger, it's hard to compromise and let go with somebody? Like, is there something you still struggle with? Something a part of your list that you don't want to have a part of your list, but you just can't get rid of it. Like it's something that they must have, or else you're just not interested. Is there something that stands out that you want to get rid of, but just mentally you haven't beaten that yet?
Um, I don't think so. I think I think a lot of the women that I've dated are very different. I think they all had their own uh yeah, just their own like personality, their own style, their own the way that we connected. I think I had different relationships with each and every one of them. And yeah, I wouldn't say like there's something that I know isn't right for me that I'm like weirdly attracted to, or like I weirdly attract that type of woman. Um I don't know if there's some, yeah, because like I'm very open, you know what I'm saying? That's why like when it comes to type, like yeah, I do have like physical types.
That's what I'm saying. Is there even if there's a physical thing, like is there a physical thing that like for me, I ain't gonna lie, like it's gonna sound crazy and people gonna probably roll their eyes when they see this, but I shouldn't say hate, that's a strong word. I'm not turned on when a girl has like no hips. When a girl's just like straight up and
Yeah.
down. I don't know, it does something to me. Like, what I'm saying? It's I don't know, it's weird. It's a weird turn off. Maybe it's just something I
Yeah.
really like. When they got no hips and no ass, it's just like, yeah, nah. Like that's just off rip. I'm kind of just like, yeah, no, shuts it all down. And meanwhile, they can be the coolest thing. But that's the problem, is like getting rid of that. It's not
Mm,
stupid, but getting rid of that want. Like you might be missing on your blessing because they don't have a little ass or hips that you want.
right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's weird. I don't know. Like obviously the way guys think is weird. And maybe I'm weird. I don't know. I have intrusive thoughts, right? Like it's just the way our brains are wired. Like when you see a girl, I don't know, there's an initial thought like, yeah, I would do it.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm just being honest. Like, yeah, I would do it, right? And then there's some that you see like, I would marry her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's like weird things where it's just like you don't even know her. Like, she didn't even know you exist. She just
Yeah.
walked by. And just off the way she looks, you're like, damn, like I could see myself with her. Like and like I say that to myself, where it's just like, and this is like it, like maybe even contradicts the beginning of my point, but and I think I'll stick to it. It's just like I need my wife. I need to be so attracted to my wife. I don't know, like the girl I want to spend the rest of my life with. I like there's certain looks that like I just know like that I really want to be with, and I don't want to settle for anything less. It's just how I am. So like now the goal is obviously to find a woman that looks that way, but then also matches. Like I'm not gonna settle for someone that looks the part that fills uh, that checklist of what I'm looking for physically if she doesn't meet what I'm looking for emotionally, spiritually, mentally, personality, morals wise, all that. I can't settle for that for someone I want to spend the rest of my life with.
Right.
But I will search for that. You know what I'm saying? And then the only way to do that is to obviously date, meet new people, get out and like really explore. But yeah, I don't think there's one thing that I'm like weirdly, I don't know. Yeah, like I have phases even with women, I
It's
think.
a fact.
There's certain times I like a certain type of woman that looks this way and I'm attracted to them. I could have watched a movie and I just fucking had a crush on the character and she looked that way, and then you see a girl that kind of looks like that at the gym or like at the mall or out, and you're like, "Damn, like she's like hotter than she actually would be because you just watched a movie and you were attracted to that girl and she kind of resembles that girl. So now it's like feeding this weird fetish you might have had for that girl in the movie, right? So like I'll have phases in that shit. So yeah, I don't think I wouldn't I'm a pretty open book when it comes to like any of that shit. I'm like willing to explore what I like cuz I haven't seen it all yet.
Yeah, I think a lot of men would agree with that point. Exactly what you said. Where even where you're like, yeah, I do it, or yeah, I want to marry that girl. Like, there's so many men that almost every guy. Let's just be honest. Some guys will front, but almost every guy has done that at one point in their life where they're like, yeah, I'll do it. It's good enough. You know what I'm saying? Like
It's
it happens
yeah.
all the time. Ladies that are watching this, don't think it doesn't. It happens all the time. Yeah, that just happens all the time. When you said that, it just made me laugh in my head. I'm like, bro, that literally happens all the time. But yeah, I think they have to look good. It has to be somewhere they look good. But for me, at this point, it's almost like I need like really two things, three things. Obviously, you gotta accept my child. Um, you gotta give me my space. I'm big on space. Like I don't mind living together, being up on each other, but I need that space. It don't even gotta be like I gotta go out somewhere. I just need that space, but even if it's in the household, you know what I'm saying? Give me that space, and then also allowing me to be me.
Yeah.
That is something that people struggle with every damn day in every relationship because it's always gonna be something about who you date that you don't like. That's just who they are. Some things okay. Some things yeah, they gotta change. Like if they're sitting and they go out every freaking weekend and they're partying, that's gotta change. That's not part of who they are. That maybe it is then, but that's gotta change.
Yeah.
But if they're like naturally into certain things or like watching certain things or they're maybe like watching sports on Sunday or football, that's something that they enjoy doing. And the same thing with women. This come on. I think even as guys, we know like our girls like to go get their nails done, like to go get their hair done, like to go get lunch with their friends. And some guys really try to control that. Like, nah, you're not going nowhere. You're not doing this. You're not doing that. You're not hanging out with XYZ. Like to me, that's super unfair. I think it should be that. Like that's just a main thing that I always try to do. Like just give space. I'm gonna give you your space, give me my space, and we can respectfully have talks. You know what I'm saying? That I feel like is lacking. Like it's just lacking because everybody either wants to be up under each other all the time or they want to play cool.
Yeah.
And that's something I still to this day don't understand. Even older people do that too, which is I don't know. It's just weird. And then when that honeymoon phase or whatever fizzles out, we are under each other every single day. Now you're resenting each other. So now not only were you just super quote unquote in love and under each other, now you're resenting each other because you gave no space. You don't know what it's like when you're without them or when they're doing something, how you're gonna react.
Yeah.
Like imagine spending 5 months or 6 months with somebody every single damn day, and then they decide to go hang out with their boys. If that person that had insecurity that you never saw before, that girl or the guy, never shown you that insecurity, and then they blow up, you're gonna be like, what the hell? And now you're 6 months in love.
Yeah. Yeah. I also. Yeah, I think it's weird, right? Like, because even when you're first pursuing the person, I think we can do that to a fault. Like, potentially smother the person or give them too much too soon, and they could take it like you're trying to show that I'm interested in you, but they can take it as like, whoa, like this is a little too much, or this was too easy, you know. And I think most men would agree with this and say this could be. I could even say this is advice for women. It's like if you're actually into a guy and like you really do like him, don't make it so easy so fast. Most men, when they start talking to a girl, if it comes very easy, he will be immediately like unattracted because it's this weird thing of like playing the game and just like knowing that you can get her, and that makes you unattracted to her. The chase is what keeps us in the game. And if you show signs too early of just like I'm opening myself up to you, like I'm letting you know how much I like you. As stupid as that sounds, the guy is gonna be turned off a little bit because he wants to pursue something. Like men have this competitive nature to them where it's just like I want to work for this girl, like I want to feel like I earned, the right to date her, talk to her, sleep with her, whatever it is. But like if it comes off too easy, then the game's over. I already won. So there's times where like the man won't even pursue the woman anymore, or he'll fall back. He might ghost her because he already knows in his mind, like, I could get her. Right. And I think, uh, I think both parties need to find a healthy balance in that aspect of like, don't give too much too early, even if you are feeling that way. Cause I've been that person, right? I'm the person that I'm talking about. Like, I know, like, yo, I really like this girl. I want her to know that I like her.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to do everything above and beyond to show her that I like her. But in hindsight, I'm fucking myself up because she's like, he's doing too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like women like a guy who's a little bit mysterious, right? Where they have to work, right? Like, you both have to play this game. And it's stupid and it sounds childish, but I think that's where that like the intimacy comes, right? The curiosity, the lust, the imagination. Like, there's all these things that come from that. Like, is she really feeling me? Is he really feeling right? Like, this balance. But when one person gives it too much too soon, and then you see the other person start to pull back, it's probably that. It's probably because you did too much too soon and they felt like they didn't have to work for you anymore. Like, I want to feel like I have to continuously work for the girl that I'm talking to because it keeps me engaged. It makes me want to go out and do things. If I know I'm not doing anything to keep her around and she's still staying around, that almost lowers her value a little bit because it's like, why would you even put up with that? Because if you are like that type of woman, like, you should have standards and know that like a guy that I want to, like, the girl that I want is going to want a guy that values her, appreciates her, treats her right. And if you're putting up with bullshit, to me, that's like a red flag that, one, you've put up with this in the past, and two, that you're a little bit insecure, you're not too confident in yourself. Even if you like me a lot, like, that, to me, that's a turnoff.
Right. Yeah, it's such a fine. So for me, it's such a fine line because I can only speak from personal stuff. So for me, I like same way you saying. I like a girl that's not gonna give it up like that. I mean, for guys like you said, a girl that gives it up like that, it's just uninteresting. Like,
Because if you can get it, he
yeah,
can get it.
exactly. It's that, and then it's like for a girl, they know that if they want to give it up, the guy gonna take it regardless. So that's not really that's that guy girl thing. But for me, I've always liked somebody that doesn't do that, but also doesn't overthink. So I'm not big on me personally. I'm not big on, well, has to happen this date. This has to happen this date. This has to happen on the third date, and then the fourth date. This is when this whole shebang happens. Nah, I think you should always go by the vibe, and by the energy. We know, in my opinion, we know as a guy when a girl's just very open. Like, we know. And we know sometimes when we have the ability to play that game better than maybe the female understands that game. Let's just be honest. Some of them don't understand that game as well as we do. So we know what to say, we know how to act, we know how to move, we know what interest to show, when to pull back, this, that, the third. So it becomes in a way a childish game, but it's something to get what we want. But I've always enjoyed just a female that just vibes and doesn't overthink, because it's fine if you playing that game back and forth. When the person is overthinking and one day they hot, and then the next day they cold, they start to make you overthink. Now you're overthinking, does this person really like me? And they're over here trying to play this game. You know what I'm saying? So I'm cool with that, but it's for me, it's just open communication. Like, I'm just not ready for this, that, or that. Cool. I don't mind that because I have to work for it. But if you over here hot one day, text me all day, and then the next day you cold and you just completely a different person, to me, I don't like that. To me, that throws me off because I wouldn't do that to them. And I said it earlier, before we were shooting, but one of the things that I do when I don't like somebody, ain't the right thing to do, is I'll step off the gas pedal. So you'll notice the deterioration in conversation. Like, you'll see me from texting me all day to text me a couple of times a day to now getting one text a day, and something's off. Even as males, we know that. Like, when a female is off, we know. even if it's just the beginning, because we know what we put into it. And listen, at the end of the day, there's nothing. It's like we look to conquer as men. So like when we go out and we get a number, we like, yeah, we bagged that number. Yeah, now I'm gonna hit her up, and we see the interest. I think it's healthy to show interest, but like you said, it's not. It shouldn't just be like, hey, I love you, let's go. Should never be like that.
Yeah.
Some stories are like that, and they end up well. I'm sure there's stories out there that they fell in love, quote unquote, early, and they're still together to today. But there's so much nowadays where you just got to see: is it just for? Am I fulfilling a placeholder for somebody that was just there? It's like you got to learn the person.
Yeah.
Jumping into something super quick, super fast is just it's not healthy. To me, it's not healthy anymore. I used to want to do that. I used to want to love somebody fast, but to me, it's just not healthy anymore. If I don't really know you, like if I can't really be out with you multiple times and just see who you're around and see, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, you my girlfriend. It's just never. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the thing with those games, when it's hot and cold, I don't like that either, cuz then like it's just a waste, you're wasting my time. It's more of the game is fun when there's like constant reassurance. Like letting each other know that you're gonna have to work for this, but like I'm letting you know, like I'm interested, there's no one else, right? So like there's a difference between uh the games, the hot and cold. One day they're all up on you, they love you, they're texting you all day, you're FaceTime and you're going out, and then 2 days you only you're getting one word answers. I don't need that, because then, yeah, overthinking gets involved. Now I'm wondering, like, am I wasting my time? Why am I doing this, right? Like, does she even like me? But then she's right back. It's hot again, right? That shit that's childish. But the working for it, right? And then there's this slow buildup to working towards something together, but it doesn't come easy. That's good.
Right.
When there's constant reassurance, I'm letting you know, like, I'm interested in you, but like let's take this slow, because I've went too fast in the past and I've got burned. So I am actually interested in you, but I'm letting you know I want to take this slow because I want this to work. I want this to be something. I see this being something. I'm not taking this slow because I don't like you or because I'm not interested in you. That is the reason I am taking this slow.
Right.
And I think a lot of people misjudge that. They think like, oh, because I like this girl, I gotta like go hard so fast. And it's like, yo, if you really like that girl, slow the fuck down.
Yeah.
Like if you really see a future with that person, slow down. Don't do too much too fast. Do just enough, right, to keep them interested. So then you can build towards something, and it's a gradual growth. Because that honeymoon phase, if you jump into it full force, 6 months will go and be gone like that. And then you'll be like, yo, there's nothing left to do. We have nothing left. And now we have to really figure out if we like each other. It's easy to like someone when you're doing fun shit. You're going on vacation, everyone's meeting the family for the first time, you're going on dates, you're having sex for the first time, right? Like there's all these things that those first 3 to 6 months bring. But if you didn't actually take time to get to know that person, if you actually want to be with them, after that honeymoon phase is over, you'll realize like this was all lust and the honeymoon phase. Like we never even really connected or liked each other in the first place.
Right. Do you think finances is a deal breaker?
Finances in what way?
So, say you're quote unquote the breadwinner, or you're quote unquote making money, and just say let's not even say on the high end scale. Just say you're making money, and you meet somebody. She's gorgeous, but she doesn't bring really any finances to the table. She doesn't really have the best job. She's just what you look for as a person mentally. Maybe I don't even know if you would say mentally, because maybe she's lacking something to find a better job. But something, you know what I'm saying, where she physically meets it and mostly mentally meets it, but is finances to you like a deal breaker? To me, it's not a deal breaker if you have some motivation behind you. Like I've dated people that are successful that make a lot of money that I just didn't connect with. So the money didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It was like whatever. And I've also had people that have had regular 9 to 5s, just regular shit, and I've loved them. You know what I'm saying? So does finances matter when it comes to a relationship?
To an extent. I mean, I really do want to be in a position where I can provide, uh, for my family and the girl I'm with. If she, if she wants to work, if she doesn't want to work, I think, I think right now, I think the best thing you can do, like as a guy, if you're worried about finances, is just like be upfront with them, right? Like, because I mean, bro, call it what it is. Like having a girl that isn't chipping in at all, and expecting the guy to just pay for everything, and do I think the guy should pay for most things? Yeah, I do, but you have to be upfront with them, like, yo, like, because I've had that, like in the past when I wasn't making that much money and we're not doing date night like we did like in the beginning. It's just like, bro, like I'm not trying to do $200 dinners for no like you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
like so you can not even eat your food and post it on Instagram.
Yep.
And what, like I I'm not in the position to do that. And if your girl can't understand that, then that's not the girl that you're supposed to be with. You can't be with a girl that is going to judge you for not being there financially but wants you to do the things to provide financially, knowing the position that you're in. And I think men just need to be honest with women and just tell them where they're at. It's like, yo, like, if you really believe in me and you see a future and you know that I'm working towards something, like, I will be able to give you this life that you want. But if you're not willing to, ride in the Honda, like, you're definitely not gonna fucking ride in the Lambo when I get it.
Right.
And it's and that's that I think is the conversation. And I think it's tough because I don't know, man. It's like I try not to let my girl pay for things, right? Or like when I had a girl, I tried my best, whatever. But like I don't know, like what it would be like in the future, with the wife or whatever. Like, yeah, like bro, if she wants to go to the grocery store, like yeah, buy the groceries. If I'm paying for the house, the phone, the cars, this, right?
Yeah.
Like you can take care of groceries, but like I need a woman that is at least is working towards something. I really don't want my woman to be working like a corporate job with some fucking asshole boss that's like telling her what to do, but is like kind of attracted to her, so he's flirting with her, and she has to kiss his ass to keep her job or stay on his good side. I don't want that shit.
Right.
I want to help my woman like pursue her passions and the things that she is like really in love with. And like if I can do that any way possible with my network, financially, whatever, and I want to give that to her so then she can do her own thing. I think that's important too. Like the guys that are the ones solely supporting the woman and the woman just like sits at home all day and does nothing, I don't think that's healthy. Like I think the woman needs something to work towards, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that financial thing is a weird conversation. It's hard, but I think just like communicating with them, and if they're not willing to at least like you know what I'm saying, just like understand, have a little bit of just like compassion for where you're at, whatever, then you probably shouldn't be with them. You know what I'm saying? They can go get the fucking rich guy that's going to dog them out, and they'll be coming back because that's not what they actually want.
What I will say is that it's just something I heard, but I completely agree with it. Men before us set the standard and sometimes fuck up our bag. And the reason why I say that is because sometimes women, and it's no fault to them, and it is somewhat fault to the guy. It depends. It really depends on how you look at it. But let's just say you're driving a Honda, right? And she just dated a guy that did dog her out, but drove that Lambo, took her to all these dinners. She's been all the way up here getting Louis, Gucci, Prada for years, right? This is the lifestyle. And then she meets you, and she may be like this sweet girl, but she don't know how to do the Honda stuff no more. She don't know how to do, you know what I'm saying? And I truly believe that that is a thing that happens, that these women and probably even some men that get tricked out don't know how to live that regular society life anymore. It's like I only know how to take trips and have my things stamped everywhere I go. That's all I know. I'm not about to settle down and sit in a house and have babies right now because that's just not what I'm looking for. I'm 25. I just got out of a 4-year abusive relationship, but I was fucking lit on Instagram and I was having all these type of I've been to this place, Kyle, like so I
There's
think
nothing that there's nothing you can do for them that they haven't done.
exactly, and that's my thing is that's where it becomes this struggle because you can't even change it. It's like you gotta change them by showing the sweet side. But again, there could be trauma from their end that they only know how to deal with somebody who's not sweet. And I've dealt with that too, where I've dealt with a female, she's only been rugged because that's all she knew was rugged. She didn't know how to accept love from a soft side. So that shit is just I don't know. It makes my head spin,
Yeah.
but it's something that happens every single day. And with a world that we live in now, with social media and pictures and people validating, if you do something big, yeah, you made it or this, that, the third, and then you have to go settle down. Like a lot of men and females, it's a humbling thing. Like it's a humbling thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just and financials, in my opinion, just play a huge part in
No,
everyday world.
they do. Yeah. And I think I've been a victim of this. I say it a lot. Like, I'm not going to date anyone right now until like I'm ready, you know? I think right now I am in that space in my life just because like, I plan on moving soon. I don't want to settle down. Like I'm not in the position to do that. Like you have to know, right? But I think there's people that they're already kind of like solidified. Like you're going to stay like you're staying here, like you got your spot, you might have your crib, you got your career, but they're like they just got out of a relationship and they took the 6 months, the 8 months, and then they're like like I'm not dating until like I'm working on myself, like until like I get everything, and like I've said that too. And I think part of that is bullshit, because we tell ourselves I'm not going to date someone until I'm ready, till my money's right, until I'm spiritually right, till I'm emotionally right, till I'm physically looking the way I want to look. And it's like if you like you can't wait for everything to be perfect to start like actually living your life.
Yep.
We want everything to be perfect and then we're like now I'm going to go and do this. Now I'm going to go try to look for a girl, or now I'm going to go pursue this passion of mine. And it's just like when you do that, like you have to think about how much a partner brings out of you that you didn't even know. And when you're only by yourself, of course everything's going to be good. It's easy to be okay if you're waking up and you're, meditating, you're journaling, you're going to the gym, you're reading books, you're hanging out around good people. It's easy to be in a good mind frame, but you're not testing yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not actually you're flatlining.
Right.
There's no growth there. When you get a partner that is for you but challenges you and brings out sides of you, right? You have to react in certain situations. You have to communicate totally different. You have to understand that now there's another person in my life, and ultimately I want to end up with someone at the end of my life. So what type of husband, man, woman, wife do I want to be to another person? How am I going to get there if I'm not learning, right? If I'm not playing the game with my partner, if I'm not actually in something. So I think people take these long periods of not dating because they're trying to be like the best version of themselves. And then they get into a relationship and it fucking is a meltdown in 6 months because they can't handle being around someone else because they've been solo for an extended period of time and they forgot how to live with someone else. And now the selfish habits are coming out, right? They're not putting their partner before them ever. They're only doing what's best for them because that's what you just trained yourself to believe for the last 6, 8 months, a year, 2 years, however long it is. And I think that's a mistake a lot of people make and I've made as well. But you need to know when you're in that chapter when it's like, I don't want to bring someone into my life right now because I know I can't provide for them the way I would want to. Not that I'm not the best version of myself. I'm always going to be growing. I'm always going to be trying to achieve that goal of being the best version of myself. But I just know that the way my lifestyle is, if I'm on the road, I'm traveling, I'm going to events, I'm here, right? The girl might not be okay with that. And I don't want to put someone in a position and lead them on to something that I can't fulfill. And I think a lot of people do that as well, right? Like they find a girl that they are attracted to, that they like. They know they can't fulfill the needs of a real healthy relationship right now, but they'll just string them along to keep them happy for the time being. And then once their opportunity arises, they just fucking they just leave the girl or
Right.
they leave the guy. And they just use them for what they could get out of them, and now it's on to the next thing. And I don't want to be that person. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to have some type of fucking ground to stand on and not drag someone through your shit just to, for the short term, knowing that you didn't see a future with them. Like that's fucked up.
Yeah, and I think when you're saying like people only know how to be around themselves, they're running from things too. Like they're running from fixing themselves.
Yeah.
Because when you're single, that should be the time when you work on yourself the most. That should be the time where if you really are single, that's where you should work on those bad habits the most. Because it could be something that has nothing to do with a relationship that can funnel into a relationship, right? So it could be just a habit of being consistent as a person. You're consistent as a person, now you're consistent in a relationship. Being more thoughtful as a person, being more just on top of your shit can funnel into a relationship because that could be such a big help. That could have been your downfall in the last one. That could have been what made the girl leave. That could have been what made the guy leave.
Yeah.
You got what I'm saying? So being single, from you shouldn't be running from growth. And that's what a lot of people do. They'll be single. Yeah, I'm getting myself right. I'm getting myself right. But no, they're just running away from the problem.
Yeah.
They're running away from the problem and they think the longer that they're single, the healthier they're gonna become. When that is not the case. You become healthy when you really want to take the next step. That's like somebody that goes to the gym. You go to the gym, right? So something if you don't go to the gym and you just eat all day, you're not gonna get healthy. You're just gonna stay who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have to like actually do the work. And that's the problem in society is that people are screaming on podcasts and yelling, yeah, you gotta get better. You gotta do this with men. Fuck this, that, the third. But they not putting in the work. They're going to therapy and they're not talking about shit. Or they're talking about it and then they're not putting it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of this is talk. It's all talk related. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I did this, I did that. I've been single for 70 months. I think about even when you talk to somebody, right? And they tell you they've been single for 2 years. You automatically think like, okay, they probably did some soul searching. Like, I might trust this person rather than somebody that said I just got out of a relationship a month ago. You're probably gonna trust the person that said I've been out of a relationship for a year and some change now.
Yeah.
That's just our nature. Like I know that for me that it is. If you told me you had a relationship for 2 years, all right, you took your time for yourself. You probably had a little couple things in between, but you did some growth rather than a person. Yeah, I just broke up with my man like a month ago. I'm probably thinking you're going back. Me
Yeah.
personally,
Yeah.
probably thinking you're going back. But yeah, it's really putting the work, man. And nobody wants to put the work in. They just want to keep this list up there. And if nobody can fit that shit, nobody can fit that shit. And that brings me to like my next question. What if do you ever think to yourself, man, I might never get married and I might just play this game forever? And if that's something you thought of, are you okay with that?
Yeah, I think it's tough when I think we put too much pressure on that. I think we put too much pressure on, like, I got to get married, I got to find the girl, I got to find the love of my life. I'm getting older. All my boys are getting married, all my boys got girls. We put way too much pressure on that shit, man. And I do see myself, like, because I think when you get married and then you have kids, right? Like, it's like almost like three different lives, from like your single life, then you meet the girl, now you're married, so now you're living a totally different life because now you're living with someone else. Now you move in together, right? Now that's a totally different life. Now you have kids. Now you guys both have to provide and parent a child. Now that's a different life. You know what I'm saying? So I think like there's an evolution of it, and like in my future, like yeah, I do want that. I do want to experience that, right? Like I want to experience everything that this world, that this life has to offer. I want to feel every emotion. I want to go through the highs and the lows, and the heartbreaks and the love of your life, and have children and have amazing moments and fucking hit rock bottom. Like I want to do it all. So obviously like marriage does fall into that, and having a family and having kids do like I do see myself, eventually finding them, but I'm not in a rush, because I don't want to do divorce. I don't want to co-parent. Like I want to have like a traditional family lifestyle, and I want to have that because I do think that is beautiful, and I think that's like an amazing thing that is unexplainable. And I think people rush it and they settle for people that they don't really want to be with. And that's why the divorce rate is over 50%, and people are not together. And you sometimes you're ruining fucking families, by doing that, because like you guys were immature and didn't do the right thing. So yeah, I do want it. Do I see a world where I don't get married? Maybe. I don't know. I don't want to, I do want that in the future. Um and I think it's different for men and women. I don't care about the fucking ceremony and the wedding and the fucking pictures, and I don't care about that shit, but I think building like something with someone, like there's just something beautiful about, I don't know, like Saturday morning, like you and your wife in the kitchen and the kid is there, and it's just you guys, and you have your fucking sweatpants on, and
Mm-hmm.
it's quiet, and you have your house that you guys worked so hard for. I think there's something like beautiful about that I would like to experience. And it's not the mainstream thing like most people, want Lamborghinis and Rolexes and the mansions and stuff like that. And of course, do we want that? Yeah. But I think like that level of success in life outweighs the, materialistic things,
For sure.
bar none.
For sure. I've never experienced what it's like to have a wife. Like I said, I experienced what it's like to be in love, and also what it's like to hurt. But what I will say is, I can only imagine it. I don't want to imagine not ever being married. I've always wanted to be married. There's been times in my 20s where I was like, I'm not getting married. Like, this is too crazy. Like, I'm not about to get married and one day she gonna wake up and say, hey, she don't love me no more, and now half the shit I work for is gone. Like, I've thought like that before. And to a point where you just got to give it up and be like, you know what? If it happens, hopefully it does happen. Like the other day, perfect example. Like, it's just certain feelings you can't unfeel that just go above what this earth is, and go above what a Rolex, what a mansion, what a Lamborghini sitting outside can make you feel. And like just the other day, my son's sitting on my lap, just sitting, just comes and sits on my lap, and he just grabs my head and just goes like this and just puts his head to mine. And he's just like, I love you, Dad. Randomly. That feeling that goes to your body, to your heart, whatever you want to say it. And any parent that is out there and listening, they know what the hell I'm talking about. You can't, can't, can't like explain it. It's the pure joy of happiness. So yeah, I don't ever want to envision myself now married again, because I know that, like you said, that's why I smiled when you said it, because those little things, a Saturday, Sunday morning where you could get up, be with your wife, be with your kids, and enjoy that, is just something that I feel like is priceless. Like whether you're in a mansion doing that or whether you're in a ranch, I feel like it's just priceless. When you work hard for something, whether it be relationship or house or whatever, it feels good when you can sit back and really look at what you accomplished.
Yeah.
It's super important. What would you say if you look at 22-year-old you,
Mm-hmm.
the list that you had of wants and needs? compared to the age you're at now, wants and needs. What would you say is different about that list? What was on that list that is no longer on that list?
I think I really just want a girl, like a woman that's just understanding, that actually gets me, that is willing to communicate, that is willing to compromise sometimes, that is just yeah, just compassionate, man. You know, I think obviously when we're younger, we're more driven and motivated by the looks,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't think about, can I actually be with this person every single day? Can I actually see a future with them? Are we actually compatible? Do we actually communicate well? You know, I think there's a lot of things that we leave out when we're younger, and then we go through them obviously through relationships, trials and tribulations, meeting new people, dating new people, and then you realize what you're looking for. And I'd say it's that, you know, and I think there's bits and pieces of, like, say each and every girl that I dated, that if you made it one girl, it might work, right? But each of them had things that worked and then things that didn't. And I don't know if there's one thing or one list. I've never really been big on the list. I've really like I think I've been in like four legit relationships after high school, and like they've all been so different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they've all checked different boxes and created new lists in itself. So I think I'm still trying to figure out my list of what I like, you know, and what I'm looking for. Um, but I think I know now that I'm totally like okay with where I'm at, and I'm not in a rush. I think back then I was in a rush. I think I always like rushed into something. I think I had attachment issues. I think I would fall too fast for girls and stuff like that. And I just think now that I'm in a space, like, I'm not gonna do that anymore. So I think the next thing maybe that I get into, like, will be legit, because I'm in no rush to get there. You know, like, I really want to figure out what I like, because I don't know if I actually know what I like, but I know what I don't like.
Right.
Right? Like, I don't know if all the girls, like my relationships in the past, have showed me what I actually want, but they've showed me what I don't want. And I think that's sometimes better than knowing what you want, because what you want sometimes can come, but like what you don't want in someone has to be firm. Because like, if there's non-negotiables that someone that you're with is showing, that you told yourself, I'm not going to put up with this again, but then you stay in it, like, you're screwed. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're too deep in now, now it's going to be an issue. You know, so yeah, I think I'm still like, bro, I never had that, like, I mean, phases of it, right? Like, you know, people talk about like true love and love with a girl, and it's just like sometimes you can, yeah, I think like with true love, sometimes you can maybe be a little bit less attracted to them, right? Like, she'd maybe not be your exact type, but like, because you guys connect so well and there's a deeper love past the attraction, like, you fall in love with like the little things, like the way she laughs, the way she smiles, the way she does this, or, you know, you guys have an inside joke, and it's just like this thing between you guys that ultimately makes you more physically attracted to her, just because of the bond that you're sharing.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I ever really felt that. I think I've seen phases of that. I think I've had flashes of that, but I've never truly shared that with someone. So like when people ask, like, have you ever really been in love? I think I've like been close to love, but I think I've grown so much now that I just think I was just immature. I just think I didn't know what I wanted. I think I was like fooled by the idea of love.
Mm-hmm.
And as I've gotten older and matured, and like really am understanding what I want in a partner, uh, I don't know if that was like true love, you
Right.
know?
Yeah, I think. like you said, those little things when you can think back and you still enjoy, or you love somebody and you still think about the way they laughed, the way they what he call it. Those are like the signs that you know, like, damn, I still, you know what I'm saying? Or if you still feel that, you like, damn, like, I just, it's just different. And then you also said things that you won't accept, compared to what you will. Yeah, like to me, it's just any type of disrespect. Now, to me, it's just like you're done. Like you're done. Loyalty, of course, but loyalty you kind of see over time. Disrespect, to me, is non-negotiable anymore. Back in the day, I didn't care. I put up with it. Disrespect, whatever, is what it is. Say what you got to say. Leave me the hell alone. Now I'm not putting up with that. It's a done deal. Like I don't care. I don't care if it's towards me, towards my family, towards my friends. I'm not putting up with it. And what I will say is I might tell you once, chill out. But if you do it again, it's over. It's done. Me back then, I would allow that forever because I just didn't want to let go of the relationship. It didn't matter what it was. It didn't matter how much fire was in it. I didn't want to let go of it. Now, you disrespect me, you're done. Like, no, I won't block you. I won't do none of that. But we're just not. It's over. Um, it's just over. I did want to get to one last question that is a little bit more of a fun question. Um, we're talking about, you know, uh, our type. Top three right now in your head. Top three. It's just for males too, because women probably won't care about this. But top three in your head. In your head, who is the top three prettiest females you know? Not that you know that I shouldn't say you know personally, but top three females in the world do you think is the prettiest?
Hmm.
Because right there it would tell me your type right off the rip.
It's funny because like when you scroll your fucking For You page on Instagram, I see
So
the
you
new
find
baddest
25,
girl
right?
I've
I
ever
know.
seen in my life every day.
Yeah, algorithm a bitch.
Bro, every day.
Every
I'm like, oh,
day.
this is the baddest girl I've ever
Yep.
seen in my
On
life.
TikTok, they just show up somehow. And you're like, I don't even follow them. They just
What?
stunning. You understand how many pretty women are really in this world?
Yeah. Oh, damn. This is a tough question.
You want me to go first? 'Cause I can rattle mine off fast.
Yeah, let's hear yours.
Lori Harvey, without question. Love her.
It's good.
Shensia.
Who?
No, Shensia is. Where I'm gonna show you. Phenomenal. She's an artist from the Caribbean. You've seen her before, bro. You've seen her.
She have the
She had a podcast with Bob. Remember Bobby, the girl Bobby, the one that interviewed Drake and all them.
Does she have an
That
accent?
Yes.
Does she have like a little mole?
No, that's Tyler. Tyler's
That's
fire.
Tyler, yeah.
Tyler's fire too.
Fuck.
Shensia is. I'm gonna show you Shensia after this pod. But yeah, and I was gonna say third one would either be Tyler or Coi Leray. Something about Coi Leray. I don't know. A lot of people be like, that's weird because she's mad skinny. There's something about when girls just have a natural sex appeal.
Well, yeah, that
Got
doesn't
a
fit
sex
your
appeal. No, it doesn't. It definitely doesn't.
Yeah.
It's like 1, 2, and then huh? Yeah.
Right.
Nah, it definitely doesn't. But Coi Leray is something about her sex appeal that like not many females have that.
Yeah.
Like, when you just look at them, you like, damn, like you just bad just because of your aura. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, bro, it's hard. Like, there's like, yeah, like I like there's certain celebrities, you know what I'm saying? There's certain celebrities that are definitely up there. Like Lori Harvey's beautiful. Um, there's this one like, bro, there's this one girl on Instagram that I follow. I don't fucking I don't know her name.
On the list.
I could show it. Yeah, I don't know. Like her, like that is my like
Yeah.
like ideal type, right?
Mhm.
Like there's probably like 2 or 3 on Instagram that like to me outweigh the celebrities that like I
Sure.
like, or artists.
sure.
But yeah, it's hard. I don't know if I have like a legit top 3 off the.
Off the cuff.
Yeah, I think I'm like drawing a blank because like there was usually one. There's usually one that like I always was just like, oh yeah, like she's like my all-time
Marry her.
favorite. Huh?
I said I'll marry her. That type of feel.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like, bro, like that's what I say. Like, bro, I go through phases with
Yeah.
like it's so hard to put a top 3 on it. Like I was watching Batman the other day and like Zoe Kravitz
Oh,
as
she's fire,
Catwoman looked
tough.
fire, like
Tough.
who's another one that I
Who's the
really
girl from the show, from the HBO show? Is it Insecure? No, not Insecure. that white girl. I'm not even into white girls, but she's from one of the HBO shows.
Sydney Sweeney.
Yes, there you go.
Everyone
You
fucking
already
loves.
knows.
Yeah, of course. She's all right. You
Yeah,
know,
there's
she's
something
all.
about her again. It's just
There's
like
a
it's
sex
little
appeal
aura,
to
like
her. You
through
know,
pictures, like just
there
an
is.
aura to her, and I'm like I said, I'm not really attracted to white women, but with her, I was like, wow.
Yeah, bro. Even it was weird. Like in the you ever seen The Sopranos?
Yeah,
Bro, the therapist.
yeah, bro. Yeah,
She wasn't even that hot.
yeah. It's
But
just
there was
some
just
type
a
of
sex
aura.
appeal to her that like Tony wanted to fuck her, and like she would wear this like professional thing, and the way she would, bro, she had a sex appeal. Like if you watch The Sopranos and like you didn't and you weren't attracted to that woman, you're lying.
Yep.
And like, and if you saw her on the street, you probably wouldn't even look twice at her.
Yeah.
But like, there's weird things with like certain characters or certain artists, the way that like they portray themselves that
Well,
make
women
them
are
more attractive.
women are like that. If you really think about it, like women are like that, and so guys are like that too. Like, how many times do you see like a guy that everybody wants, right? For a girl, right? A guy that everybody wants, and this other guy kind of quote unquote pulls her because the guy that everybody wants is just doesn't is weird. It like in a way weird,
Different,
like not
yeah.
you know what I'm saying, like different. And the guy that pulled her maybe is not as handsome as that guy, but he had a little bit more swag to him. He had a little bit more understanding how to talk, stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
the same thing with women. There's certain women that are bad. He talked to them and it's like, oh man, yeah, I can't really pull anything out of this girl. And then you talk to somebody that's maybe not as bad, but she's amazing to talk to. She's fun. She's giddy. She has a sex appeal. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah, it
so
makes
I
it more
I
attractive.
understand exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
There's some people, they might not be the baddest in the world, but there's something about them that's just like I say, even like Coi Leray. Like she's pretty. She don't got a body like that, but there's something about her that's just triggering as
Right.
far as like sex appeal.
Yeah. There's some. Yeah, there's some like that. Like I think in LA like last week, 2 weeks ago, our waitress had at this like restaurant.
Yeah.
Like she was pretty. Wasn't my like type.
Yeah.
But like just the way like she was really good at her job, you know,
Kept
like
asking her for water.
fucking espresso martinis.
Yeah,
Bro, we all had like 6 each. We were there all night.
That's
but like, bro, it's funny. We're 4 guys at the table, you know what I'm saying? And like, bro, we're all flirting with her.
Oh,
It's just
fucking
like
hell.
open like competition.
Yes.
Like everyone's trying to throw the jabs, like trying
Like, throw that
to
tip.
and
Throw
see
that
who's
tip,
and
yeah.
she's feeding into all of it.
Yeah.
And like every time she'd walk away, we'd be like love you, like gonna miss you,
Yeah.
you know? And then we'd be like, damn, like she's kind of hot. And then like after, you know, like you look at the instant, like we're like, she's really not that
Really not
hot,
that hot,
you know?
yeah.
But like, I'm not like that attracted
Yep.
to her. But like in that moment, whenever drinks are flowing, so it's weird. Yeah, I think mine fluctuates a lot. I don't. Yeah, I'm still trying to like put a top 3. Like Lori Harvey was always up there for me. I liked Lori Harvey a lot. I like Russ's girl. I think she's fire.
Russ who? Russ Westbrook or Russ?
Russ, the
Russ
rapper.
singer?
Yeah, with the
I never
long
seen
hair.
His girl.
Yeah, the girl's pretty.
For real?
She's very
Never
pretty.
seen his girl.
Yeah, I like her.
Oh, I forgot to put Melly up there.
Who?
Melly. Yeah, I might have to kick Coi Leray out. Melly.
Melly?
You don't know who Melly is?
Mm-mm.
Amazing. Shout out to Melly. We got to clip this.
She's good?
Melly, yeah, I've spoken to Melly before. She cool as hell, but shout out to Melly. She's bad. She from New York. She from I think the Bronx. Amazing. She's
I
an
like
artist.
that girl, Kaiser Ray,
Yeah.
WNBA player.
Mhm.
She's very pretty.
WNBA got a bunch too. Bunch of pretty women.
Yeah, she's good. Yeah, I don't know, bro. Mine mine changes all the time. Like people ask me like who like I had like there was a few like the old like actresses when we were coming up, like Halle Berry, Megan Fox,
Nia Long?
Nia Long was good.
Mhm.
Who's that one?
What show?
Fuck, bro. I think she was. It's not. I'm not Eva Longoria.
Even Mendes.
Eva Mendes. She has the mole.
Yep.
She was fire.
Training Day.
Yeah, and Hitch. She was
Yes,
in
and
Hitch.
Hitch too,
She
yep.
was in Hitch. But there's another girl that kind of. She's like that like Spanish look.
Zoe Saldana. Was that her name?
That could be her.
Zoe Saldana from she's skinny as hell.
No, I think she's another one that like I'll have like phases with.
Zoe's
Zoe is fire. I do. Yeah, she played Gamora. She played
yeah,
Gamora. I like Zoe. I like her. Yeah, she be looking good. No, bro, it was this other fucking. It's gonna bother me. We're gonna finish it with this.
Yeah, facts. Let's find it.
Oh my god, who is this?
While he's looking, let's shout out the Journey podcast also as well. They doing big things. I heard that word on the streets that they got merch coming in January. Big moves, big guests. Um, what was it that you're also gonna start a Patreon?
I can't find it. We're yeah, so we're gonna start a Patreon because we're getting a lot higher level guests now, and we've built the platform on obviously us and like a lot of our like loyal like fans from day one. They really enjoy listening to us, and it's hard to get that vibe with having a guest on because our job as interviewers is to interview, right? So you're not gonna get us all the time. So with a Patreon, uh, it's like OnlyFans for podcasting.
Right.
So it's basically a subscription service, and you get us.
They get more of you.
So, we're going to release 3 or 4 episodes per month that will only go to the Patreon. Will never live on YouTube.
Ooh.
So that makes people have exclusive access to you, right? Like, I'm going to pay X amount a month. It's not a lot, you know what I'm saying? $9, $14, whatever, $8 a month, whatever it is.
On your life that maybe not everybody knows.
Exactly, yeah. So we're going to show sides, and then we're also going to try to add value where like we'll have like how to get over a heartbreak, like a 15-minute video, really maybe even not a podcast, right? And then we're going to have also tiers. So like, there's a standard tier, there's going to be a silver tier, and then like a gold tier, right? And gold tier, we're going to do live calls once a month on Zoom with however many people are in there, and you can talk to us literally live on Zoom, right? Patreon, you can send in questions. We'll bring up your questions, right? We'll pick one random subscriber every month and maybe send them $500 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So like, there's something that I'm gonna build with that, just because I think it's really cool, and I just know we're gonna be dropping a lot of guest episodes, and we still want to stay loyal to like our day one subscribers, supporters, followers, stuff like that.
Bro.
So.
Well, continue success, man. That's continue this success. And when you find that girl, let me know because I want to know who the hell you was talking about.
Yeah, bro. I got.
Who the hell you was talking about?
I'm like I see the movie.
Yeah.
In my head right now, and I just can't. Yeah, I can't put a name on. I'll look at it more.
With that being said, Zach, I appreciate you again, my brother. That's another episode of the Culture Shop Podcast. I almost said Journey Podcast. We out of here.